see you.
Hello.
How are you feeling now you've had a bit more time to reflect on Wednesday night?
I'm more settled. I think it was one of the saddest, but one of the most proudest moments that I had as an Arsenal manager, for many obvious reasons.
And in terms of your assessment after the match, you suggested that Arsenal were the better side over the two legs and that Arsenal have been the best side in the Champions League this season. Do you stand by that assessment?
100%. I'm watching it back. I'm watching all the stats. Obviously, we have the best stats and the best goal difference in the semi-final. So it's very clear. But it's not about the winning probability or what you merit. It's actually making it happen and making it count. Because when you look at the important stats that normally give you the best platform to win football matches, it's crystal clear who was better.
So what needs to happen next season to ensure that you can make it happen?
Well, I think if we raise the probability even more, I mean, instead of 5 expected goals against 3, is 7 against 0, then it will be much closer. But with 5-3, normally you are in that final, and you should be 3. And it doesn't guarantee you anything, only that you've done so much good work, because if you face PSG, one of the best teams, and they blow you away and you don't even know what happened, you shake hands and say, guys, we're not ready still. It's our second season in the Champions League. When you look them in the eye, you play the way they did, you suffocate them the way we did again there. And still not enough, because things didn't go your way, or they added quality or overperformed certain areas that are critical to win a football match. You have to accept that. That's a sport, and in particular football.
And in terms of the chances you created over the course of the two legs, the chances that you were unable to convert, does that highlight what needs to happen this summer? Yeah,
but I mean, that's very volatile. And regardless the players that you have, it happens. And nobody can predict. When you watch the semi-final Inter-Barcelona, if any of you could predict who was going to score, how he's going to score, it's impossible. It's the right back that I play with, score a goal. He has the best chance in the game. He missed it. The centre back that is left-footed, score with the right foot there against us. Hakimi, that for sure, he shouldn't be in the game the last 10 minutes of the first leg, so he could not play the second game and score when the expected goals are 0.07. I mean, it's a lot of random things in football.
Last couple for me. There was clearly a lot of emotion on Wednesday night. The players were clearly absolutely devastated. Just how much of a challenge is it to lift everybody for these final 3 matches of the season, because there's still work to be done?
But this is what we are. I mean, when we get so close to win big trophies that you don't achieve it, it has to be part of that journey to be able now to go immediately into a different competition and to perform at the highest level. That's it.
Finally, for me, will there be a guard of honour for Liverpool at the weekend, and how painful will that be to give them that respect?
But they deserve that. I mean, they've been the better team, they've been the most consistent, what Arne and the coaching staff did done. It's been fascinating, it's been really good, and they fully deserve it. And that's a sport. When somebody's better, you have to applaud and accept and try to reach that level.
Thank you.
Hi, Mikel.
Hi.
Only a couple of days on from the disappointment in Paris, of course. What message have you been sending your players in terms of ending this season as strongly as possible to consolidate that second place finish?
Yeah, that's that we felt in the manner that we went out very, very proud. Make sure that we finish the season in the same way. You cannot win the Premier League, that's clear. But the last 16 days that we have with 3 games to go, make sure that we make ourselves proud, at least to compete at the end in the manner that we deserved.
Sure, you spoke after the defeat about unlocking the door by turning strong seasons into titles and trophies. How close do you feel you are to doing that with the current crop of players you have to work with, and how key is this summer's recruitment going to be in helping you achieve that?
We are there, because with the amount of points that we have generated in the last few seasons, we could have 2 Premier Leagues. So you know how close we are. We are there. We are providing the numbers that win you titles. We have to be a little bit luckier or still do better, is that nobody has that season better than you. But again, what we did in the Champions League, with those numbers, you have a big probability of winning it. That's why a lot of people were thinking that we could go all the way.
You just used the word luckier. Do you feel that luck has gone against you this season then?
There are many factors. You need that to go in your way, in that decision, in that clinical moment. The ball goes to the post, out, in. That's the fine margin. So I think what we have tried to do is to amplify the margins. The bigger the margins are, even if those things happen, then it will be very difficult for the opposition.
So Liverpool, of course, up next on Sunday. How much importance do you place on this game in terms of sending out a message for next season by beating this season's champions?
No, it's about this season. It's about the amount of points still we need to earn to finish in the position that that we want, and we have to earn that.
On the Guard of Honour that you mentioned at Anfield, can you and your team, I guess, use that experience of standing there congratulating the competitors on winning the league title as even more motivation and drive to ensure that it is you guys being congratulated next year?
Yeah, something has to drive you, motivate you, and pain probably is a good one to use sometimes, you know, when you don't really want to do something, but it's the right thing to do, use it as a motivation for next season.
Finally for me, you said before that the experience of winning trophies really generates the belief to go on and win more. I just wonder, could the fact that you and your players have given so much over these last couple of years but fallen just short of the ultimate prize, could it perhaps impact the belief that they have that they can go on to become champions, or is it all just part and parcel of the process?
No, but it's a part of a sport, and if you win it once, then the challenge will be to win it again, and it will be more difficult, and this is the cycle of sports. Thank you.
Hi, Mikel. How are you?
Good, thank you.
You said again today that your team were the best team in the Champions League. You don't think they were just one of the best as you reached the semi-finals but didn't actually win the competition?
What I said till that point, and looking back as well, I think we are one of the best. You want to take it literally like this, and up to you.
Do you think Arsenal have taken a step forward this season because of your Champions League campaign and the Premier League finishing second again probably?
Yeah, for sure in the Champions League we have, because we've done better than last season, but not what we want, because we want to win it.
What about the Premier League?
And the Premier League, we're going to step backwards.
Definitely take a step
Well, with the points that we have created, it's clear that we haven't done as good as last season. That's obvious.
So next season is all about recruitment in the summer. Have you already sat down and absolutely put on the table the players you want to see coming in through the door?
It's about this season, because it's not finished. We still have 3 games to play.
But you can't wait till the end of the season and then go pick the players you want to go and buy.
No, but if we're having those meetings now, we are very late.
In terms of Liverpool, they've been a standout team this season.
Yeah.
They've been the champions. Are they the team next season your team have to go and beat, or are Man City going to be the team again? Where do you think your team have to look at who they've got to try?
Well, they will hold that trophy, and somebody has to come and take it out of their hands, and I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of contenders and very well prepared contenders to raise the level again and make it very difficult.
And finally, you've spoken about picking the players up after Tuesday, after Wednesday night. How have you picked yourself up, and how do you this summer get the energy to go again and do the process all over again?
Looking things with perspective and being very analytical and very critical with what we've done, with what we are doing, and when you have those pictures and those things in front of you, it gives you a lot of hope to continue on that route and keep insisting and trying. That's a sport. Hi.
At the end of the game, you said that quite a few of the players were in tears. I was just wondering if you could give us an insight to sort of how they are now. I know it's only a couple of days on, but have they
Well, much said so. Obviously, it was a very emotional moment, very sad moment. We put a lot of hope and energy and work into that, and we didn't get the outcome. And you need to go through that to after become stronger and better, and that's what we do.
and externally, there's been a bit of criticism that it's another season without a trophy for Arsenal. Does that bother you? And B, do you think that's fair?
No winning trophies bothers me a lot, yeah, because I love winning and absolutely hate losing, yeah.
Perfect, thanks. Tom.
Hi, Mikel. It's obviously been 16 years since Arsenal were last in a semi-final, and obviously fans, I don't think will want to be waiting another 16 years for another one. What do you think you could say to the fans so they can be encouraged that the wait next time will be much shorter and maybe go even further?
Thank them for their support, for their belief, for the energy and the way they have supported and be in and around the team. It's been a great journey, a journey that we wanted to take further to end up winning it, and we were unable to do it. So everybody will have to live the standards, improve, and we know that the margin will be very small and very short again, and feel that we can do it. That's it.
And over these last 5 years, I don't think there's any doubt in the progress that this club has made to be in these positions at that stage of tournaments. When you see a club like Manchester United, for example, whose average league position compared to Arsenal's last 5 seasons is much lower, but they've been in 5 finals in these 5 years, picked up 2 trophies, and potentially could get a third one this season. How do you view that in judging success between teams?
I don't judge that, and I'm not those. There are two words, success and failure, that they are not part of my vocabulary.
Thank you. James?
Mikel, Salah's probably going to finish top goal scorer. He's 5 clear with
Mm.
games left. It would be the 3rd consecutive year that the top goal scorer has played in the team that won the league. Do you think you need someone, whether that's internally or externally, to get you 25 goals plus a season to win the title?
Yeah, I will look more broader. I think if you score over 90 goals, you have a high probability of winning the Premier League. It doesn't guarantee you, but you have a high probability if your defensive record is very good as well, and very dependable as well, against who and in which moment this striker, this winger in this case, has scored the goals, and how many points is he contributing with his goals as well.
Because I'm sure you know, sort of externally, there's the fans want to see a new striker or a new forward, or you to add another attacking player this summer.
Mm.
From the way you talk, it doesn't sound like you feel that is necessarily the answer, that you have to go into the market no matter what.
So I have to make it more clear. So in January it was clear or no?
What you tell me.
No. Well, I told you because you were in the room, I think, many times, and it's a very clear statement, and the statement continues the same. So.
Well, I thought the statement in January you wanted.
Yeah. I want the best team, the best player. If we have 3 goal scorers over 25, bring them in. We're going to be a much better team, guys.
Simon?
Yeah.
Okay, just on those goal scorers, are they the hardest players to find and buy in the current transfer market?
Probably there are, because there's not that many that put those numbers. I mean, it's something that's in the stat. There's not that many in the Premier League, and to do that, but I will try to improve, but certainly improve the ones that we have right now, and love the ones that we have right now, especially after losing. It's too easy to just go and look elsewhere, and don't use the moment to judge players, especially because we can. I was asked a lot of questions about certain players in this room, always in certain moments. But when other players have outperformed other players that we were discussing, I have 0 questions in the last 11 months. So it's all relative to the context, to the moment, and what you want to, the narrative that you want to generate. And I understand that.
And just on the summer, are you excited by what you've got planned as a club? What you want
Very much, yeah. Already with the players that we have and having everybody fit and available, we are a super strong team. Look what we've done in the Champions League semi-final. We haven't done in 20 years, this football club, with the actual players that we have right now. So, yeah, very, very positive about it.
Art?
Hi, Mikel. You mentioned earlier that the words success and failure aren't in your vocabulary. So I was just wondering, how do you judge, or what words do you use to kind of judge progress with yourself?
To judge?
To judge progress, what words do you use?
Assess what we do, and what we are doing is something that we merit, or is happening by luck, or is happening, and understand the reasons why we do it. And what happens today doesn't mean that the same process, the thing that is good, is going to be good tomorrow either. So don't get carried away with that, and don't get too critical or too low when something doesn't go your way, because we could easily be in that final, and then what? Doing exactly the same thing with those stats, you could be in the Champions League final, and then what? So now, because you know you have to think differently, assess, it's too simplistic. We cannot work that way, because this sport is too volatile to think that way. Too easy.
Is that something that's more just yourself or collective thing in terms of the way you...
That's the people that work in sport that understand that. And that you see that with the results, that you can beat a team and go 4-0, and the next week you lose 0-2 against a team that is being almost relegated. And then what? Doing exactly the same thing. So this is sport, and in particular football.
And can I just ask about one of the players you do have in Ethan? Because I've noticed in the last couple of weeks in the Premier League, he's not featured as much. So I was just wondering, is there a reason for that?
There are moments, and players are used more and less, and he's played a lot. He's played probably more than anybody expected, for sure. And in the last few games, he's because of the games and the context, we decided not to play in that much. It can change very quickly.
One more on live before we come to John Cross.
Hi, Mikel. I'm
Hi.
from Canal Passport, Czech Republic. I just spoke with Declan and he told me it's all about consistency. I just want to ask you as a manager, how are you trying to learn players to be consistent in every aspect of the game?
Well, with habits, training every day, talking about what kind of behaviors we need to achieve what we want to do, and then raising the demands, like always. The higher the demands at the standard are, the more consistent you're going to be, because it's normal for you, but the standards are so high that for the others it's not normal, so then normally you're going to be better than them.
Thank you. Move to John, 10:32.
Hi, John.